Speaking of being ready, apparently you got to be ready if you're using those Amazon Basics products. Stay ready. No, I don't know. I read this report. This was floating around my news feed today. I don't know what to say about it. Apparently, there's been some kind of trend of certain Amazon Basics gear exploding, catching fire, things like this. There's been an investigation. Consumers have raised serious safety concerns about Amazon Basics items in complaints to government regulators and in reviews posted on Amazon's own website. Since 2016, at least 1,500 reviews covering more than 70 items have described products exploding, catching on fire, smoking, melting, causing electrical malfunctions, or otherwise posing risks. I think the image that Will is showing off is like an absolutely cooked and sizzled office chair, which was apparently set on fire by a faulty cable. This is the fire at Austin Para's home, originated with an Amazon Basics USB cord. Now, I know that Amazon is responsible here. I know Amazon is a huge target. It's a company that you would want to have. If you had to figure out a lawsuit or a class action or something, you would want it to be against Amazon and not whatever other generic USB cable company was responsible for your meltdown. Mm-hmm. The question is, and this is where my mind went immediately, is, are you truly any more likely with an Amazon Basics product to encounter this outcome compared to the generic marketplace of USB cable A or USB cable from company B? What I mean to say is this more a feature of a potential outcome for any gadget? And Amazon Basics just happens to be one that has such a huge variety of gadgets available that over the course of, let's say they have 1,500 reports since 2016, is that really that much when you consider the volume of units that are getting moved? And if you were to consider similar ratios and numbers for less recognizable brands. Because I'll tell you what, man, I hop on Amazon, I need a cable. I got Amazon Basics. I got Cable Creations. I got, you see where I'm going here? Yeah, Anchor, and it's like, I am skeptical of all of it. I'm like, I'm sitting there looking at it. Sure, you can have some with somewhat better reviews than others. I've had chargers explode on me in the past. I even feel kind of, what would you say, apprehensive about sharing the details on the brand because I'm not certain if it's just a one-time deal. And if I go out and say, hey, this one charger exploded on me, all of a sudden then potentially many people who watch this would say, well, they're all going to do that. And it's like, well, it's still a small... Anyway, that's where my head went. Now, granted, I had to have sympathy. Austin's house burnt. His chair, I mean, it's terrifying.
Yeah. This is not what you want to see.
It's terrifying. And you do want Amazon to respond, and you do want them to follow up, and you do hope that they can come to some kind of an agreement or solution over it. Famously, Samsung has been here before. They had the Note series that a bunch of them were exploding, and at that moment, it did appear, oh, wow, that is far more than usual. You had story after story after story, and then you had to realize, okay, we got to do a recall because this is beyond the scope of what would typically happen. So I don't know if you hear what I'm saying here, Will, but I'm just saying it's two sides to the story, essentially. And what I'm trying to get at is, would this stop me from buying Amazon Basics gear, of which I've bought a few and had no bad experiences? Probably not. However, I remain skeptical of all cheap electronic components.
Yes.
It's just, it's the nature of the thing. I'm careful. I unplug things. I've seen it happen. I had a charger start smoking upstairs. I was like, what is going on right now? Imagine I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And then I might be this guy, and I might have to get the lawsuit going. I don't know. So it's also the difference between the personal experience and just being a bystander who hasn't been personally affected. Once you're personally affected, everything changes.
Yes.
And then you're like, my kids were in that house. So Amazon, Bezos, pick up the phone.
Yep.
So that's the difference. I just want to represent, you know, both sides of the story whenever possible.